Hi, my name is Hannah Roshini. I work with Redwood Brands. One of the wonderful brands in our portfolio is Humboldt Vodka. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be working on a kind of play on a John Daly, which is kind of like a boozy Arnold Palmer. So one of the ways that we do this is you want to make sure that you have lemons or lemon juice, but please be sure to check expiration on something like this, because oftentimes we buy it and then we just leave it in the fridge and then it's not good. The other thing that we've done beforehand was we made a simple syrup. I know a lot of people at home are kind of concerned about the simplicity of making a simple syrup, but it really is very easy. It's equal parts sugar and boiling water. So what I've done is I've actually taken tea. I used an English breakfast, but you can use, I've got a jasmine green tea, a chamomile tea, you can use whatever tea that you have. And what you want to do is you want to steep the tea in boiling water for probably about 10 minutes, a little bit longer than you would for something that you would want to drink, just so it's this side of bitter. And then you're going to measure that boiling water. So let's say you have a cup of boiling tea at this point. Then you're going to measure out a cup of sugar, add that to it, and then wait until the sugar, you can mix it, stir it, whatever you want to do. Make sure that the sugar completely dissolves. If you cover it during this time, that will help so that you don't end up with crystallization. Now, simple syrup actually will keep in your fridge for up to 30 days. So please don't be concerned about, oh, I'm gonna make a bunch, I'm not gonna use it. We're on quarantine right now, and you've got nothing else to do than to be creative and make cocktails at home. So don't be scared about making some and then using it for an old-fashioned or whatever other cocktails you might like to try at home. So I've got Humboldt vodka with me. I like this vodka. It's very, very smooth. It's cane-based, so it's got kind of a really nice, almost vegetal scent to it. What I've done is I've cleaned my cobbler shaker. This is something that you might have at home. If you don't have a cobbler shaker or a set of tins, you could also use a thermos. I've definitely used this coffee thermos before. I actually like it because you can just pour it right out after you're done. Kind of works like a cobbler shaker would. Then I've also got my lemon press, but if you have a hand press, or if you want to, work out your hands a little bit, you can fresh squeeze just using your hands. If you are using a lemonade, the one thing I would say is just be cautious about the amount of sugar that you're going to be using. So what I would do is if I was using a lemonade, I might just brew a strong tea and then play around with that, foregoing the simple syrup part of it. Just because lemonade has a lot of sugar in it. But if not, you can always make a plain simple syrup, just equal parts sugar and water. And if you need a little bit more sweetness, you can add that as well. We also have some soda water. I don't actually have regular soda water right now because I've just been drinking it like a fiend. So I've got the Pamplemousse LaCroix, but that'll work fine. It's got a very, very light, subtle citrus hint to it. Shouldn't really affect the cocktail too much. And I've got this and I've got a passion fruit one, but I went with the grapefruit because I thought it would go a little bit better. So what we're gonna do is first we're gonna measure out. First we're gonna take our lemon, cut this guy in half. And let's juice it. It should give you an ounce. Every fresh lemon should produce about an ounce of lemon juice. Alright, and I'm using this to measure out my ounces, but you can use, if you got a shot glass at home, the one thing I would say is just be cautious about shot glasses because most of them are conical in shape. So if you're doing like a half an ounce or something like that, just be sure to fill it a little bit above that halfway mark because that conical shape. A good measure also is, if you're not sure how many ounces are actually in your shot glass, on your Pyrex or whatever measuring cup you have, you've got your quarter cup right here. Your quarter cup is 2 ounces. So if you wanted to measure out your vodka using that 2 ounce mark, that quarter cup is where you're at. So if you measured this out twice, you should get that quarter cup. I also use this guy. This one is, if you don't have this at home in your kitchen, you should probably get one. It's amazing because you use it for all sorts of baking, for everything. So I'm going to measure this out. 1 ounce exactly. The other day I used a much larger lemon than this and I still got 1 ounce. So there's a good chance that you've got 1 ounce in each lemon there. Open this guy up. And this is my tea simple syrup that I made using the English breakfast. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure out 1 ounce of this guy. Put that off to the side. Then a cobbler shaker. 2 ounces of your Humboldt vodka or of your preference. So then we're going to add our party ice. I don't have a fancy ice maker at home, so I just went to the corner store and got some party ice, and that will work just fine. You do want to fill your cobbler shaker or your tumbler or your thermos pretty much all the way, especially if you're using party ice, because the more ice in there, the less dilution is going to occur when you actually shake the cocktail. So the next thing I'm going to say is always put this piece on, your mid piece, before you put your top on it. So if you put these on like this, you're going to end up with a vacuum seal that's going to be really, really difficult to break. So make sure you put this guy on here nice and tight and secure, and then top it off. So doesn't really require a lot of shaking, as I said, because that party ice. And then we're going to get our glass. Fills it about halfway. Fill this up with the fresh ice and our LaCroix. Just top it off. And before you take a sip, I don't have actually a spoon. I do have this nice fancy stir stick. You just actually do want to swizzle it just a little bit. And the reason for that is you don't want just to have your first sip just be soda water. You want to taste the whole thing. So cheers to you. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoy many cocktails and really get creative this quarantine. Cheers. Yep. I'm gonna drink that.